Hello, CNN and Fox News. This is about the treatments of everything in the news. And Connecticut interstate, Connecticut individual, grouped, and together, the branches criminally foreign influenced. Themselves recording confessed this, demonstrated this. In collusion with other states, the same thing, like Rhode Island, like New York, like Washington and New York, tied to campuses specifically. And then bringing in Rhode Island specifically because of the military and because of overt criminal enterprises with a Faenza clique, with crimes with the state judicial branch offices, with men and women with identity thefts, with Rhode Island from here to here, there to here, with the police forms and with their family members inter-branch criminally involved. And then various natures of police forms, especially the executive branch, foreign and domestic mixed, individually, grouped, and together, criminally foreign influence, especially with psychology, especially with time treatments, not by accident. Then, as standing maintained as standing victims, but victim predator lipoaggression cover-up natures, individually grouped and together, states and areas, and their family members, needs and roles with needs to sustained, effectively maintain sustained negative value nature progressions, acts, and natures to all areas, as the value of all space, formal treatments, and other overt criminal enterprises, private, uncharged, originally still. The natures and uses of reality that are not reality. They're using it to break whole areas. The ground has an identity of relationship to body of value discernment that everyone was taken to organize crime roles with colonists A through Z and tribes A through Z without realizing, blaming the causes of it on others and other things and on others and on selves. And so culture is about identity nature. Excuse me. Are solid. It's gross. Okay, there. So this is about victim predators, how we had them originally motivated to take part of roles with things as sick, like slavery, and pretend that they don't understand that. Pretend they're moral anyways, good people. See, everyone's good people. They use good people because that's how they use the law. They inherited it criminally foreign influence. Delusions, wrought. With the sciences, with criminal uses of experts as means to jobs all measured spots. Treatments measured, told how to do it, when this was bonding all to roles with other motivations, natures, and interests consciously, methodically, as criminal and seditious natures. In other words, you can't legalize jobs. You can't pretend that justice is worth anything but negative value nature and building it more as when you're even entertaining Jim Crow laws, even now, without a quick summary treatment of that, explaining what I'm explaining, how the states and areas are maintained criminally foreign influenced, criminal and seditious natures that have no right to be legalized, but they're victim predator laws. They were raised by theater on that methodically maintained to keep each individual group together, group sexes and together. That difference, the value of it, is to discern the value, increasing value relationship, identity relationship to it has itself our nature of volume. Each individual is bonded, grouped. You're one sex or the other. So people want to say they're intersex or whatever. That's still they can't even. That's grouped. You can't. Then species is grouped nature of volume. This has something that has nothing to do with physical. This is the value of physical is the bond, which is the value to its relationship to invisible but still discernible body of value discernment value, which is positive or negative in relationship to the Trinity's relationship to the identity that is a little bit before and a little bit after. Don't have to agree on the name, but that's what Allah is revealed to teach. That's what the Trinity is revealed to teach. In fact, Allah is revealed to teach this, noting that other people's uses of God has many names. In other words, God is. In other words, they're noting this is about the identity of all things. Boxings. It's not about God is inside the God equation, the alphabet, to discern what is truly going to cause, and as positive's identity, which is greater than it, which is greater than negative, which is not one or the other. Positive and negative is together working for the value progression of our identity, but now through other ulterior value nature systems, and where and how this value nature system progression system perfect relationship to our fact treatment nature actual, as science actual. So we have negative value nature progressions, acts and natures, blamed on other things, boxings, lethal IDs, from formal sources. So there's a Faenza family recorded and confessed with others, many others. See, dozens of people, and then dozens of families are criminally involved, and then they get recorded how they get and keep, and how the overt criminal enterprises and the branches criminally involved with them too, needing to hide the same lies, active body of value lies, progressive lies, sequential lies, sequence shifts lies, identity theft lies. See, that's what we have as a problem, is identity theft. And then everyone who justifies and values as forced as victim predators each age to value, everyone needs to know how to think now. And we have psychology recorded delusions, wrought, criminally foreign influence, crime roles, bridge between the sciences. Tactically maintain criminally foreign influence to maintain them worse than criminally incompetent. So there are narratives with police forms interstate that where they mix in complete strangers needing to lie about me, needing to lie about my identity of relationship to the ground, and others, not just me, everyone needed to do this to everyone, whether they admit it or not, especially formally. So the state judicial branch offices, a Faenza family, and a Fazina family, and a Stephen Stocco and a bunch of her other boyfriends associated with CCSU, predicate acts, other natures of crimes, database crimes, identity thefts. So, some people I don't know at all, like a Joshua Julian, but these are also sequence shift clicks. So even the people I know have identity theft crime acts roles with interbranch, with evidence reception, with overt criminal enterprises, and with uncharged ones originally still. That's a problem. That's a problem when you're not allowed to teach about your American history because your founding fathers' recorded stolen identities are valued offensively too, with passions and emotions. See, we have behavior crimes and criminals as the branches. One of the things they do is pretend that they have judicial independence, which I'm not saying that we're supposed to have, but there's no independence for each of the branches are criminally foreign influence because they're offensive evidence reception predators already valued. Stayed lie progressions to areas where they're interbranch criminally foreign influence by with a whole bunch of juxtaposed overt criminal enterprises valued by them, blamed on other causes, These are intercampuses predators as adults against each age of fact treatment nature. Child abusing not just one individual, but every single individual. When they say, oh, we want the magnet school, we want this type of school, they're out of their minds. We haven't had science, not one real science, speak for one area yet. We have criminally foreign influence zoning laws that were forced with the fact treatment nature slavery of our founders, which our history is really about. A breaching organized crime method using human fact treatment nature. Using the slavery of it. Worse than the slavery of it. It engineered everyone to roles as nature's inside valuing identity of the grounds relationship criminally foreign influenced. Valuing having been and needs to keep the real causes of negative value nature progressions acts and nature explained on other things others themselves. Acts like predicate acts. So we have a Klotz family down the street that a whole bunch of people recorded and confessed crimes with that were facilitated to it. Like the Fienzi family, I don't know if they know them, but they're recorded and confessed involved with them. Crimes with the Dillon family and a Kerr family. And this is with my new neighbors, I don't know their names, but they're also recorded and confessed involved with interbranch child offenders. Further sicker than the principal sex offender with his campus. I tried to report these recorded things because it involves the police chief and his family criminally, and the retired and standing interbranch with them, with houses in my area they use criminally. This is also how direct and indirect criminal uses of the witness protection program and of forensics clicks with that now tied to child offenders because they're needing to hide their live progressions. These are people that attach me to fake conversations as interbranch drug clicks and as doctors tied to them with that, who through time, even with fake news crime acts, attached me to fake doctor that was in relationships to mental diagnosis as a kid that weren't at all. These are people that are tied to a goal, a former mayor goal, and a O'Brien family with this Cololo family with a Phil Cololo recorded and confessed by a Bob Chase, further involved with them with crimes, with evidences, rules crimes, identity theft crime acts, and their recorded physical delusions and criminal natures with child sex offenders and with a Phil Cololo. He said he was supposed to. He pretended to read me a police report. I don't know what it says. And then they didn't show me that. They showed me different things. And then that Phil Close also recorded, confessed involved with two Mendez brothers with identity theft acts, drug crime acts, and database solution stacking crime acts, sequence shifts, and other crimes against me with other extended relatives of a kid that came in when I was in fourth grade. Ray Kalo and his sister, also recorded confessed involved with the police with Newington criminally involved, and with two police chiefs associated with the house criminally, and with people associated with them. So then you get to name stacking, and they want and need to pretend this is how people walk up to you that you don't even know, and they say things. And mixed with people you've never had a conversation with at all, they need to pretend other because they've been painting fake evidence receptions into databases. When you go to court, you're not supposed to speak medical information. They've been pretending conversations, forging names of doctors, forging whole fake conversations with the ones also criminally involved with the criminally involved courts. See, these are also police courts used criminally for depositions and with police forms and federal criminals that were the co-defendants of former director of the FBI. So CNN, also CIA, is recorded and confessed involved crimes with a Leahy family and others forged names of doctors. But then I talked about the CIA. Also, as people that were pretending that I had conversations with them online, like the Klotz family, tied to a house across the street from one of the Fienzas involved criminally, with South Seville, with the house down the street, and with the Kurds, with the New Britain Superior Court, and with crimes at both of my colleges. And see, these are people that don't let. These are people that are keeping the colleges with people associated with the Kurd, the Moro, Aiello clique, and with fire departments associated with Russians that are criminally involved with this O'Brien family, and the rest of the child offenders that, and with the extended family members of the closed that pretend to know me through time. These are also police forms who had criminal positions interfamily, in other words, with class placements, where they lied criminally for their roles with drugs and database solution stacking, and narratives where they forced the narrative to be ill, factual in nature, and for reasons that they're pretending other than are actual, because they're mixing in fake people into narratives and databases, and they're not letting anyone have a counter to their sequence shifts and lies about our behavior. And see, these are behavior crimes too, because now, how is someone supposed to act when someone walks up they don't know and makes a loaded statement, or they're just gonna have them attached per the people pretending they're recording that for other, all fakes. You guys don't even know who defendant former director of the FBI Robert Luskin is, but you don't take the mandated law and respond to the crime acts and their crime roles with others with child sex offenders and with their federal criminals, also associated crimes with the houses in my area, further with recorded criminal uses of the campuses, and with wire crime methods tied to the identity theft crime act, and forced sustained adaptations to how they abuse boys and girls, and then how they have their value, and how they exploit it. There are people like a Celeste Wells. She can record it. If I have she sought me out to have a conversation, to communications, but it was with her recorded, confessed, involved with all kinds of crazy things, and creepy people, and these are people that will call you creepy because they can't show their face because you'll see they're creepy. You see what I'm saying? They have to do it from the background, and then they have to. That's why they're valuing these crime acts everywhere I went, stacking tricks, facts into databases. I never had anything to do with Debbie Gold when I was a kid. That's why I was explaining. One time I told you a couple times. I mentioned that online. This is the girl associated with one of the mayors involved with the child offenders, and with her brothers. I never met him either, but recorded, confessed, involved with people involved with forensic spots and drug cliques, with prison cliques that are crimes with them, with area, with identity thefts, with wire crimes. Also, people working with AT&T, raised criminally, people associated with FBI in New Haven, on off locations with them, with the campuses used criminally with criminal justice, and CCSU with crimes with a whole bunch of people with Hartford. There's a Russian lady club. It was a Club Blue before that, and before that was a Russian lady. A Rick Champfillon, I don't know. He was recorded and confessed involved with a whole bunch of other now men and women, but they were boys and girls who recorded and confessed abused girls various ways, as ones that they're using now to hide from my voice, and to keep forging names, switching names into branch, because they know I have them caught recorded with child offenders, worse than the principal sex offender that they forced by not letting me tell about the sex crime acts recorded even online before that. They lied to Weathersfield Peace parents with that, attached me to fake conversation that wasn't at all in the media. They still have the pictures from that in the media with fake YouTube pages, fake Facebook pages, with the child sex offender roles, as also recorded rules against women intercity associated with the kids, sexual crimes against, pretending to be me, with passion crimes against a Saudi, one of the Saudis they have crime acts rules against, and with Kuwaiti military. And then that gets into big headaches with the Trade Center and sanctions, and because we have our the former director of FBI, former standing chair person on RICO law, Robert Luskin, involved with CNN's sequence shifts, Fox News sequence shifts with Muller and with Comey, and as crime rolls, recorded per those sequence shifts also with their mandated law crimes. Unless you change that, please fix the fake news, CNN, Fox News, and have them pick one name and interbranch. They forge names and switch names, which is criminally involved with their with when how the they made, regardless if he's consciously criminally involved, which he should be, unless he's criminally incompetent, because we have not had legal representation mentally competent with one area since founding, especially regarding Wethersfield, Hartford, and this interstates. Yes, and intercampuses maintained that way. So they also Chris Walters had interbranch police forms associated with his wedding with offensive evidence reception crimes, identity theft crime acts, and that was recorded through time per their roles with through time child abuses of mixed natures. Also with men and women involved with predicate acts at Trinity College and on and off the campus, with police forms leading up to a 2006 case with the federal criminals involved with the kids further as the co-defendants of former director of the FBI. That the fake news is recorded crime acts rolls with. So motivated to pretend Mueller and Comey have integrity that they recorded don't. As there are also crime rolls with a proven sequence shift, post-dated documents proven after had been presented to the panel of judges in the Ninth Circuit Trade Center attack context, recorded and confessed and demonstrated further tied to the same crime acts with illusion stacking, identity theft crime acts in databases when I was a kid, interbranch, and in campuses, all victim roles, victim primary roles forced. No one even realizes it because these are off campuses maintained, on and off campuses, criminally foreign influenced experts. Fake. Worse than fake. Criminally foreign influenced delusions wrought. So please follow the mandated law. And please understand that those sequence shifts show behavior crimes. That's why they can't reveal it, because they've been pretending things legitimate, like a relationship to all the Westerly, Rhode Island, Block Island, involved criminally with the houses in my area, with crimes with the witness protection program, with crimes with various natures of FBI, and with the defendant, former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, and his co-defendants, and their family members, and their roles with other kids that were put in classes with me with crimes with databases, with drugs, with identity thefts. Also intercampuses facilitated as the AT&T and fix the fake news. The news is recorded and confessed, having attached me to fake conversations with them, sequence shifts, fake ties to others. And they did this about little kids. They lied about my mother's positions. They lied about her ties to others. They lied about her granddaughter's relationships to strangers that are recorded sexually sick with the kids. They're also recording crimes with male and female gay cliques using that passion recorded consciously to hide their sensibility to how they were being used by the O'Brien family and the other families involved with the Russians criminally, and with the New Britain Superior Court with that, with a Sanfaglione. A whole bunch of names of people up the street, police forms worth nothing. Worth nothing. That's why we have negative value nature progressions, acts, and natures. Here. Please fix the fake news. Please follow mandated law. Tell me who disbelieves, because they can't tell you here, because in court they have crime methods recorded, confessed, and demonstrated where they switch names and forge names and threaten you not to say things, knowing they're criminally sick people. knowingly. So have them pick one name from here. That's the mandate of the law. Their crime acts recorded. They didn't fix this, and they hid it criminally in a case. They forced a principal sex offender by not letting the sex crime acts and methods recorded demonstrated, and they were told this. They hid this, and they hid worse. They forged names, switched names, even the state's attorneys. That's why one of the reasons when I followed the rules. Now I have the rights to the attorney general. So there's a problem for each branch.